tiptoe through the window, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh, tiptoe from the garden.
Dad, was that your commercial?
I don't know.
Alright, I knew I bought this jersey for a reason.
I don't know what it says, and after watching the Death Stranding, I still don't know.
No one has any fucking clue what's going on right now, but here we are regardless.
I'm getting low on water. And the only thing I can do is to drink my own pee. It may seem disgusting, but your own urine is safe to drink.
Talking about what we don't understand for 10 minutes and 1 second.
Has to be the 1 second on top of that.
Focusing on the controversy and the divisiveness that this game has already created. It's your standard episode of Laymen Gaming, people.
With some memes, if we can find them.
Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine?
I feel like this 50 minutes we'll find at least one meme that's to the drop. Stick around, we'll tell you if we do. We'll tell you if we do. I don't know, whatever. So guys, 50 minutes I was like, cool, I'm gonna tune in, I'm gonna understand what this game is. Do you understand what this game is?
Okay, here's the thing. I actually feel like everyone right now is like, oh, I don't understand. I feel like he just showed us the thing, but that people are still not willing to grapple with it because it looks so different. No, I'm serious though. Like, everyone's like, oh, there has to be something else, man. It's kind of like, I feel like that's the game. He just showed us the game.
I think that we're going to get into this territory now. If someone comes out and says, I don't understand what Death Stranding is, and some other person's going to be like, you don't understand gaming, everybody. It's art. Didn't you know that? That's going to start happening now with this, you know, and I think that we were saying before, when this comes out, my God, the amount of people that come out and say, if you don't understand what Death Stranding is, then you don't understand art. That's so going to happen.
I will be one of those people.
Or Alf's going to be the worst at that.
Definitely going to be one of those people.
The worst at that ever.
No, but seriously though, I do feel, okay, so obviously Hideo Kojima got up on stage at Tokyo Game Show with a very enthusiastic co-host.
Oh, yes.
Who really was enjoying every single thing that he was saying.
30名降りで今綺麗になるんですね。
And he showed us 50 minutes of Death Stranding. Now, obviously, we had seen little snippets of gameplay here and there. We'd seen lots of trailers. We'd seen lots of hype. It was this huge sort of like mysterious build-up. Like, what the hell is this thing? But today is like the first time we saw a big, massive chunk of actual gameplay, and we can wrap our heads around it. Now, we'll go through a little bit of it a bit by bit soon. But I do think overall, what we have seen here is the actual game. Like, for 50 minutes straight. Like, there's no trickery here, there's no, like, cuts and whatever else. It's just like, this is the game.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people still are not willing to accept the fact that this is the game. And they're like, because it doesn't make sense, they're like, I'm missing something, there has to be something else, he's only shown us a small part.
Maybe.
Whatever, you know?
Look, I think that potentially, right, he is doing the whole Kojima effect. He's rolling with that. He's going, I know people are going to tune in and they want to see something, but they also will accept if I barely give them anything, because it's just art, man, you know? And I think that maybe the game will come out and this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's not really showing us the crux of what this is. It's just trying to give us a brief introduction of how this world looks, how the mechanics work, how the shooting works and the combat works, but it hasn't actually given us what this game is. I'll be very surprised if this game comes out and you're literally just running around FedEx parcels the whole time. I don't think that's what it's going to be.
That's the game.
I don't think it is.
FedEx Ground. Reliability for less than you think.
Bro, that's
it's
the
art,
game.
man. That's what artistic people do.
All right,
they walk around FedEx packages.
Let's do a quick overview of the stuff that we did see in the trailer, because I think if you have a look at it in totality, you're like, man, this... And don't forget, they put this game together in 3 years, right? All of these game systems that he just showed us in this 50-minute block, there's no way this is just the tip of the iceberg. If it is, it's the biggest tip ever.
I've heard that before.
I'm an adult virgin.
Let's go through blow, blow, blow. So it starts off in one of the bases and you see Norman Reedus sort of suiting up. Can I just say, this game looks incredible.
Incredible.
Like, this looks next level.
I don't think I've ever seen a game like this. Environmentally, it looks incredible. But the mocap, let's just start there. The mocap just looks like Sometimes you got to do double takes. It's kind of getting to that territory where it looks incredible.
Incredible.
Then we get into like you suiting up and putting on your kit. This is him putting on his big boy carry pants. Where he puts on so much material. The amount of stuff that this dude is able to carry.
He's training for the next Apollo Creed fight, man. Like this guy is.
What Creed fight?
You know, look at him. He's like,
like
going through the snow and shit. He is just buff. He is jacked, okay?
He never skips
It's incredible. And I was like, by the end of the time that he had put all this stuff on, I was like, is this a meme? Like, you can't actually take a game seriously that makes you walk around like you're some donkey. You know what I mean? That's what you look like.
So after that, he gets out of the base and he literally just starts walking to his next destination. You're able to set waypoints on the map and you just walk to the next place. And I think this is where it starts to get, very... And I was watching some of the chat while this was live. People were really arcing up about this. They're like, this is boring as fuck. Can't believe we waited for this, whatever else. We'll come back to that later. But anyway, look, that's what people were saying. You are walking. Now, there's a big focus on traversal. You can do things like put an anchor down in the ground and put yourself down a cliffside. You can drop ladders to cross chasms. And interestingly enough, other players, like, you don't see other players while you're playing.
You can ultimately leave things behind that can aid their own traversal.
You can definitely do that. So if you put a ladder down, you're in this online session, someone else comes along, similar to like Dark Souls-esque, then, they can see that, they can interact, they can use that ladder. You can leave a like on that ladder to like thank people for it and say it's a good ladder.
You can leave a like and subscribe.
That's right, don't forget to do that on the video as well. So there is that social interaction element, but it's not like co-op play per se.
I wonder how deep it's going to get because the world does look quite lonely, in terms of like, it does seem like it's a very isolated experience. I think a lot of people will welcome the opportunity to interact with other people. But look, maybe that's not part of the vision. Maybe it's like, look, you can see other people going about this world, but it is an isolated journey. I don't think we've ever seen an environment look so realistic. I think we're getting to the stage now where I'm like, okay, we're there. This is it. You have to do double takes on that environment, the mountains in the background, the greenery, the rocks, everything. Just
now we know why Young did that 20-minute video on the green moss.
On the moss!
The green moss video,
man. We
man.
should have trusted you,
He was ahead of his time. He
should have trusted you.
So obviously it continues on. You are able to sort of sit down and take some downtime. You do get a look at your feet at one point, which is pretty messed up.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can sing a sort of lullaby / harmonica.
And the weird baby is on you the whole time.
Yep.
I mean, very strange, but you're right. He did do the whole harmonica thing.
So there's a nice little section where you actually get on this hoverboard thing.
Yeah, going all the way down the hill and stuff. Very nice. Cool.
Then we get into combat, or sort of combat, I guess you could say.
Well, there's definitely some sneaking. There was definitely some grabbing of the neck. Very Solid Snake, okay? I feel like maybe Kojima was involved with Snake. Maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows, man?
So, either way, this does definitely have Metal Gear Solid 5 feels in some regards. Can definitely see it in terms of the UI, in terms of like the animations, in terms of obviously like there's stealth capability in it. And then shit goes down and you start using this bowler weapon, which literally you fire over enemies and it kind of like tangles them up and that's that. Shit starts to go down, it gets pretty crazy.
And I think it's good to see that there is a combat element to this, and hopefully there's a combat emphasis. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, personally, I do not want to see a game that I'm just walking around with FedEx packages and, 10% of the game is me shooting people. That's not what I want, but I know a lot of people might want to see a new genre like Ralph might be. But it was good to see that because I think if you're going to show 50 minutes, also show, the boss fights as they did and also the weapon mechanics. The boss fight also pretty cool. I mean, I thought it was incredible to see the environment move around you, the buildings kind of floating, and you have to use that environment to kill the boss. It looked like something out of Shadow of the Colossus or something, but in the coolest ways.
Yeah. It was quite visually. It was just spectacular. It looked kind of a bit simple in terms of you just throwing grenades at the dude most of the time. So that's that. but you know, presentation-wise, it looked incredible. And then look, after that, you're sort of like heading back to base, and you're going to drop off your package. He has a little bath in between then, which we missed.
Yeah, that's the urine bath, which was interesting.
Which is very nice. And then he gets back to base, hands in his package, and that's it, job done. And you sort of, oh, actually, there's a part with a motorcycle.
Oh, yes, the motorcycle. But look, it's a game about your package, everybody.
It is ultimately. So look, this obviously led to so that's the game, right? And I think that's the game. A lot of people though refuse to believe that that's the game, and
I'm in that camp.
And a lot of people are like, this is boring. They're just like, this is a boring game. Certainly saw that in the chat. Certainly saw that on Twitter afterwards, Reddit, etc., etc. Already, people are extremely divided about this game and whether or not it's going to be any fun to play.
I don't think it's boring. I'm just not convinced that this game is going to be primarily, you know, bringing packages that it seems at the moment that you are not attached to. I just don't know if that's going to be the thing. I think it is going to go down the traditional way of storytelling. There is going to be something that you need to destroy, or a bad guy that we've already seen some enemies. I think we're going to see more of that, and that is going to end up being the story. And the weapon mechanics are going to be an integral part in this. And you're going to move towards a goal, not just walking around in an environment.
No, but there is a goal of moving from east to west, which is what they've said many times across America, delivering packages and connecting people. That's the whole premise of the game. It's the idea that you're connecting people, connecting towns and whatever else, like rebuilding connections across America, because apparently it's a disconnected country.
It's divided, is it?
Well, you know what I mean, like divided or disconnected, whatever you want to call it. So, like, I think that makes sense to me. I definitely see it. I'm actually personally interested. If this is a game that is not focused on combat, I'm more excited about this game than I would be if it was combat focused. Every game is focused on combat.
No, always. With Journey, for instance, you know, one game of the year or whatever, right?
Sure, like one or two games aren't. But like 99.95% of games are focused on combat. To see like something different, to see something not just about like be stealthy, but just like traverse space and just like be out in this world.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be fun. I don't know. I'm not saying this game is going to be fun to play. I'm just saying it's going to be interesting to see it.
It might just be a creative exercise to see, you know, if it is super avant-garde, it's like, this guy, you guys have never seen this before. It's not fitting the traditional ideology of what a game is. I'm open to that. Let's jump on, let's play it. If it's 15 hours, cool. I think the difference there, if it does follow that line of Journey, like it's very much an exploration with no combat or very little kind of danger. It's more about just explore the environment. Journey's 3 hours. I mean, if this is going to be a 15, 20 hour game, I just think that you do need more there. I hope that there is a nice balance between concepts that we've never seen before, as well as embracing traditional ideas of what we've seen from gaming. I think that's probably the best middle ground there.
But look, either way, personally, I was very concerned about Death Stranding, to be honest, because I was really worried that it was just going to be
a FedEx service?
No, I was really worried that it was going to really hype itself up with some crazy presentation and cutscenes and like amazing cast, but the gameplay would be really generic, like shooty game, whatever else. I'm so excited for this game now. Like, as I said, I don't know if it's going to be fun to play, but I'm going to be so interested to play 10 hours of this thing and understand what Kojima has created and see if it actually sticks. And maybe it sucks, but at least I will have experienced something different in an industry that is so scared to do anything different.
Sure.
No one ever does anything different. It's just the fucking same 3 games released in different ways. You know what I mean?
Look,
so to see that kind of like ambition, to see him have a crack, I'm down for that.
I think maybe this is going to be one of those rare moments where a lot of people will tune in and it won't be on their ticked boxes. If it's fun, the most important thing for them is going to be, was this a new experience or was this pushing the industry forward in some way?
Yep.
That's probably where this game might go, but again, I do think it's going to be a mixture between of, you know, what we've seen and what is also new. But we'll have to see, everyone. We'll have to see, and that's it, right?
Let us know in the comments below what you think. And
like and subscribe.
And remember that we delete all comments that are critical of Kojima because he can do no wrong.
Yes.
Okay, just keep that in mind.
And anything we are
young are united on that front.
Yes, and anything you say badly about Ralph, the comment is staying.
That's right.
Okay?
It gets pinned.
Okay, it gets pinned.
You're so supreme.